There's a man going round taking names.
Jesus Christ. Turn that off. Yeah, I didn't get away with it first time round. This is my review 4 years ago for Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr. Came out on the PlayStation 4 and Pro, offered some Pro boost. But look at the screen tear on their own intro. It was shockingly bad. Everywhere, quality low off the bat. Sod's Law as well, whole video got demonetized. I've got 26,000 views for it. Story of my life.
When the man comes around.
Why are we looking at a game that came out in 2018 and Ragnarok's out, which you've not put on the channel yet? There's no rush with that one. I won't make the SEO for the standalone reviews. I'll wrap it into a list as I do with all these big name titles. It will come up towards the end of the year. But this has had 3 opportunities for me to talk about it more, and I've missed out on it. First of all, it's gone on PlayStation Plus. So if you have a subscription service to that, then amazing. You can just whack into the base game, but it is base game. Secondly, it's had a PlayStation Remaster standalone edition, and shocker, you're not looking at it. You're looking at the base level game on a PlayStation 5. So this runs the same boosts as a Pro, which gives you a 1440p drop down, i.e. 2K, or a performance mode which runs at 1080. Here's the cool bit. It runs at that 2K mode at 60 frames per bloody second when you put it on the 5. I'm not giving them 35 quid or 40 quid for a new version of this game. It's like £13 or there on in for a standalone physical copy off the shelf for PlayStation 4, which will still come with all of these beautiful boosts. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is the addition of new alien races and what they've sort of tweaked and done with the game over these 4 years, because it's been a very long time and this isn't a terrible Warhammer game. First up, it's the difficulty. The game was blindingly easy on launch and you just cut through swathes of enemies. You got OP drops. It was just a bit crazy. If you don't know, it's actually a looter shooter that's almost based on a Diablo system, but it's got a slightly more sophisticated control mechanism that I'll go to in a bit, because it does and doesn't work for me. That, by the way, is a Chaos Decimator, and that's the only time I've ever seen one in a video game, which I think is a bit strange. Surely they were in Dawn of War 3 or something like that, but it's well cool to see some off-the-wall sort of enemy types and races pop up in this game. It's pretty varied stuff now. I also didn't go anywhere near in my original review is other builds with different characters, and using the Psychers or Telekinesis characters is totally amazing. And I love the nimble sniper. She's got this roll, she's got a special that produces 3 of her. The sniper addition on the Y button, allowing that counter to build up, and the longer you keep your sights on someone, the more you times the damage. So you have this risk reward with standing still for that long, but then just delivering a headshot with perfect timing is quite satisfying. It still jerks around like a mother every time you level, and there's loot coming out your rears. Like, disposing of your loot or breaking down your loot is like having 2 goddamn jobs. Can you get on top of that? It's too much loot. You don't need it all, and getting rid of it, you won't pick it up if your itinerary's full, which is so frustrating. Anyway, Tyranids, holy shit. Was pushed in, what, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. I didn't get a huge alert about it, but I saw it going past on the Steam update, so I was like, oh my god. And sure enough, totally delivers. They have put in different attack models for these enemy AI. I thought they might just duplicate a lot of the original Chaos patterns, but they're a whole new thing. This pushes you on loadout change. You can't go marching into a level expecting to just use the same kit as you did fighting the Chaos Marines, and that is a good sign, and it's really cool to have to start thinking about what you're going to take out there to murder these things. Notice this is all solo footage, no online at the moment, and this is a couch co-op, local co-op game, but it's a hell of a tack on. It doesn't really work very well. It's more of a gimmick. It does feel really cool to have your mate in, and they'll just push options on the pad in the lobby and bang, they're there helping you, but none of their hard work really goes towards anything other than getting you out of the level quicker. freaking love good Warhammer dying animations or battle animations. I think it was Dawn of War 1 and Relic that I have to blame for that, with beautiful death and killing animations when sort of big set pieces had fights with each other. You've kind of got a similar thing here. The Eldari, or Eldar as I call them, don't know why they've given them their posh name for this game, but it's brilliant having them in. Teleporting around, very close quarters in areas, use loads of machinery. They've even got those little iron jet skis. It was an absolute joy to see a third race appear in this game. They may put more in, but this was overwhelming for me. And remember, none of this is an extra cost. So if you've got that PlayStation Plus and you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to get any of this, yeah, you get Tyranid, Eldar, and Chaos. A massive campaign to play, and really a looter game that's probably bitten off more than it can chew. I think it's just got too much loot and it's quite convoluted. A lot of the crafting systems and elements that you have to pump into everything, breaking certain things down, you can lose yourself just in that. I was also concerned about variety on boss type. One of the more common missions is that you can see on the right, I've got a counter of enemies left, and there'll be 3 major players within the map that you've got to take down. Just check out the helmet falling off on that dying animation. But this had a switch out, so the third one of the 2 wasn't a Wraith Lord, it was a goddamn tank, and it pushed me to my limit on a perfect balanced level that didn't feel unfair at all. What's the online like? Well, it's just mental crazy, because you're likely to have somebody who's a psyker and they'll just have their powers ripping through the whole level. You have effects going off everywhere, you'll struggle to see yourself. There is a R3 so that you get a highlight of where you're standing, but I much prefer the one-man army thing. It fits with canon, with the whole Inquisitor just going in and clearing out a whole planet, because there may or may not have been some heresy in there somewhere. That is a bit more explored with the single-player campaign at the start. You do have some Imperial warriors who have gone bad, and this Vox mission that's very cool. You've got to shut down this propaganda station. So there is some substance with the storyline. It's one of the better storylines, to be fair, of a Warhammer game. I've just come off the back of Chaos Gate. It's the infamous tank battle, aka the fire prism. Now, before I forget, I do want to just highlight my gripe on that red highlighting mechanic. Now, it has to be in this game because the control system is interesting enough to allow you to target individual units within a screen, so you need to know which one you're actually looking at other than how your character's facing physically. But if I could turn that off, or if it wasn't needed in the game model, I totally would, because I feel it does ruin that immersion a little bit. Now listen, I have been CouchCube. If you are new, or if you keep coming to this channel and not subscribing, click the button. I'll see you down there.